So today's agenda for this meeting is related to the opening balances. And there is one client question also you can see on the screen. We need to discuss on this as well because the client has mentioned that there is certain bank account where opening balance uh, where the balance is zero and they don't actually know how it can be shown in the opening balances and how he can proceed further with the importing of data where he can see the bank balance also. So let me start the discussion. See, on the opening balances import from any legacy system to CargoWise, there are certain modules available inside CargoWise through which we can import the data. Just like if we need to import AR opening balances, we need to go to maintain account and here we have import data from where you see there are certain fields available where we need to actually clearly mention what we want and what is the cutoff date. On the cutoff date only we have to import the data, that we need to be very much careful because whatever the posting date we are going to enter here, the data will be imported on that date and obviously it is going to impact your financials. So be careful on that. If it is related to AR opening balance, then we have to tick. It is just like dot. Like if creditor, we have to import to creditor balances. We have to just select this. For debtor, we have to select this. And then posting date, we have to take the cutoff date. Now on importing the data, going live, cutoff date selection. See, there may be two scenarios. One scenario is that the company is going live on the first day of the financial year. Just like for India, it is from April to March, like company is going live on 1st April. Or if it is US based company and 1st January is the go live date, then we need to select 31st of December as the cutoff date and the data will be imported on that date so that on 1st of January it will be appearing as the outstanding balances inside CargoWise. Now, two scenarios. Other scenario can be that in the midst of year, company may go live. That there we have seen many companies going live in the midst of the year also. On that also, we recommend that it should be on the first day of any month so that the balances which we are importing or transferring from legacy system to CargoWise, it will be appearing on the first day of any month because as we will discuss later on that if we import the trial balance figures are actually captured on the last day of any month. Like if go live date is 1st January, I, even if we import on any particular day, it is going to hit on 31st December. So that way we also recommend that companies should go live, if not going from the first day of any financial new year, it can be in the midst of year, but first day of any month. Now AR/AP opening balances, we can select this through browse. Here we can click, go to the file, import the file. If it is AR opening, then we will select the AR one. If it is AP or creditor balances, we need to put select here and then browse, bring the file here and import. So for AR and AP opening balances, I am going to show you the formats. This is the prescribed format from CargoWise so that very easily one can input the data and it can be imported. Now here you see on the screen, it is AR opening balances and this is the CSV file where you can see the columns which are mandatory. There may be few columns like branch and department. They are not mandatory as such. But if we want that the impact should go to any particular branch and department, yes, obviously we should First, create the branch department inside CargoWise, and if we put the branch and department, it will hit the same branch and department. Otherwise, by default, system takes the branch and department in which we have logged in for importing the data. Now, account first column you see here is account. Account means the organization code which is created inside CargoWise. If we are going to import the opening balances in CargoWise, then we have to ensure that the code is created in CargoWise. We have seen certain cases where in the legacy system the code is differently mentioned, and in CargoWise there is a certain way, like default format to import or create organization code. But through registry, we can put the same code which is already there inside your legacy system. That is different aspect we are going to discuss on the format here. Now, column number B is reference, where we have to put all the invoice related reference like invoice number, which is there in the legacy system. And we can add much details here so that at the time of matching, like once we receive the payment from the client and we want to match and close the transaction, if we update the reference field, then it would become very easy to just check and select the invoices, payment, receipt entry, match and close the transaction. So this reference field is going to be very important once the data is imported inside CargoWise. The invoice date, due date. The format is YYYYMMDD. System is not going to accept any other format. So please ensure that the format should be in this order only. Then now currency, other columns, if you see here, foreign amount and local amount. This has actually implication, like if we have logged into India and the country currency code is INR, then foreign amount and local amount should be same, because the exchange rate is going to be one only. Now we don't have any column for exchange rate. System is going to by default understand uh, by certain logics. If it is in, suppose invoice was raised in USD and we are going to import that to invoice inside CargoWise, then we have to put here USD. Whatever was the foreign amount we have to put here, and local amount we have to put here. System is going to understand, just like here 20 USD was there and 1400 INR system has, means we entered. Now system understood that okay, it is going to be 70 as the exchange rate. That way, we just need to put the foreign amount and local amount, and system will actually understand the exchange rate, import the data inside CargoWise. Branch three-letter code, department three-letter code. As I mentioned, these two are not mandatory, but if we actually put the foreign amount and local amount, then it will be very easy to understand the exchange rate. This was AR opening balance. Same format, if you see here, the AP opening balances format is like that only. If you ask me what is the change here, only organization code here, it should be creditor code. And if you see reference is there, invoice date, same way, other fields are like that only. And we have to follow those criteria which I discussed few minutes back. Once we import the data inside CargoWise, all the AR opening balances and AP opening balances are imported as journals. Like for AR, it will appear as AR journals, and for AP, it will appear as AP journal. Like if it is invoice, it is going to be trade debtors control debit for AR, and the other part will be the credit. Okay, and all will be imported as journal entries. Parallelly, AR clearing journal will also be activated, and all the amount is going to fall in the AR clearing journal. And same way for AP, The trade creditor control would be credit, and AP clearing journal, the that part will go to the debit side. Now, since we are importing this with the debtor balances and the creditor balances, system is going to import the data details in the sub account. Like trade debtors control is the control account, and trade creditor control is also the control account, which is actually mapped in the registry as well. So if you run the report after importing the balances, you will find that there is double entry inside the system. So we need to pass a reversal entry on AR clearing account uh, versus trade debtors control, so that the clearing account figure can be nullified in the system, and it should be passed through journal entry on the same date. Like if it is the last day of December, 31st December, we need to pass journal entry on the same date as a reversing journal, and it will nullify the clearing balances. Now, trial
The
balance. Third part is, here you see, if we are going to import the trial balance, again there should be certain columns, and we need to actually take care of the respective GL. These GL again, if we are importing the data from legacy system, then the GL code should be created in CargoWise, referencing to the GL code which is there inside your legacy system. We can configure, create a new one, but mapping should be there, and we have to import taking CargoWise GL code, because system is not going to understand legacy uh, chart of account. Account description, it will capture from the GL code whatever we have configured and created inside CargoWise. But here, if you see the description, this description we can put the details as per the reference point or the choice, so that at a later stage we will be understanding that this figure has come through the importing of the trial balance. One thing we need to take care, like the debit side, maybe there may be hundreds of line with the debit. Parallelly, there may be 50, 60, or maybe 100, lines for credit, but debit and credit balance should match, so that there will be no error. Just like if there is no error, this is called a full-fledged trial balance without any error. Same way we need to follow while importing the trial balance inside CargoWise. The basic fundamentals would be the same. Just like asset will have debit balance, we just need to put debit. No plus minus sign is accepted here. If it is liability, then we have to mention credit under balance sheet. If it is going to be expense, then we have to put debit. And if it is going to be the sale revenue or income, then we have to make it credit. The same fundamental, basic accounting fundamental we have to follow while importing. Here, if you see, sometimes we have seen that client wants certain organization code also linked, or maybe staff and resources code also linked to it. If we want that any particular GL should be linked to the any staff code or any organization also, so that at a later stage, if we want to run the report, it should capture those details. Yes, inside CargoWise, we can import that way, mentioning the codes as well. This way, we can import trial balance inside CargoWise. Now here, the other part was like unpresented checks or outstanding checks. Now here in there can be a scenario where we have received the money in the form of check, but it is lying in the drawer, or maybe we have sent to the bank, but it is still not cleared and appearing in the bank statement. Those entries we have to pass in opening receipt, or if there is a scenario where we have made payment to the vendor via check, and check is lying with the vendor has not sent to their respective bank, or maybe it has not cleared with the bank and it is not appearing in our uh, bank balance also on the cutoff date, then in that case we have to pass this entry of opening payment. The columns here, as I mentioned, that this will be done manually one by one, but yes, organization code should be created inside CargoWise. The receipt date, post date, this all should be like YYYYMMDD, or we can select also from there. I will show you. Check if it is related to check numbers and all, we can put the details here. The amount, receipt amount, local amount. If there is a foreign currency amount, then obviously receipt amount and local amount should be varying with certain exchange rate. Or if it is in the local currency, both receipt amount and local amount should be same with the currency code exactly we have to mention. Now, since we have discussed on ARIP opening balance and I have shown you in the model whether it is in the form of receipt or payment, like we go to manage cash book transactions, and here if you see there is a new drop down option naming new opening receipt or new opening payment. New opening receipt would be just like we have received payment in the form of check and still lying with us, or it is not cleared with the bank. So this we have to pass one by one. But account again would be the organization code. It should be created inside CargoWise system. The posting date here we will take the cutoff date. Wherever the post date has to be mentioned inside CargoWise, it is going to impact your financial reports. That's why we need to be careful. And in case of cutoff date decided, we have to put that cutoff date here as the posting date. This opening receipt or opening payment, this is not going to impact your financial as such, but for the bank reconciliation purpose, it should be there. Otherwise, after some time, suppose that check has been cleared and the check is appearing in the bank statement, you will not be able to find the transaction there to tick in the balance sheet in the bank reconciliation. That's why it is required to enter once it falls under opening checks, whether receipt or payment. Now, description we have to put, we can add certain description here. System allows you to put certain narration so that after some time, if that situation comes where it is cleared with the bank, we can reference out and tick and bank can be reconciled. Bank account, obviously, it should be created. Like if bank is created, then only system will allow you to select that particular bank. If the bank which is created in INR, system will automatically capture INR and exchange rate would be 1. Like right now it has captured INR. Why? Because I have logged into India. Otherwise, it by default it captures the country currency. But if I take, like if you see here, if I select any bank account, maybe in USD, so you see, system will capture USD. Why? Because we have configured and this is US dollar bank account. That's why. Now this exchange rate system is capturing as we have entered in the exchange rate or imported the data of exchange rate for particular date. That's why system is capturing. The receipt amount, obviously, if it is USD, I have logged into India, then receipt amount USD and local amount, it will vary. Otherwise, if it is India login, INR bank, then here it would be INR 1 exchange rate and both the amount would be same. This way, we are going to import the opening uh, balances on receipt or payments. Then comes trial balance import. For trial balance import, we have to go to manage general ledger journals, click on new, and again, what is the cutoff date and the month period we can put here. And like function F5 would would be the current period. Now suppose we want to import the data, like this is the current period. We want to import the data taking October since we are in November. Then put 7, and whatever we are going to import here, it is going to impact on 31st of October. For importing the data, right click here, go to import data. Here again we can browse the file, CSV file, we can browse, import here, click, that CSV file will come here. We'll have to click next, and the importing of data through CSV, we just need to map first uh, line, and rest system we will follow, and we'll need to create, click on next, and it will import the details inside CargoWise. This way we can import this. So four things we have to take care while importing the opening balances inside CargoWise. One is opening AR balance, another one is opening AP balance, third one is opening trial balance, and fourth one is opening checks, whether it is opening receipt or opening payment. Okay. Now client has certain query related to the opening balance figure under bank. He mentioned that he is not actually able to see that. Now, if we go to maintain account, bank account, here, this is my training system, and I can see that there are 20 banks created. There are certain hypothetical banks also, like cash and whatever. Here, let us take this bank. CargoWise provides us the field where we can input or enter the opening balance. OS means if it is not INR and I've logged into India, it will be the foreign currency, like what is the amount, and this one will be the local amount. Like if since it is INR, both the figures are same. This way, we have to put the opening balances here under bank account. This is for bank reconciliation purpose. It has nothing to do with the financial reports. For financial reporting, the trial balance figure which any company provides us, that GL code. Like if you see this is the bank and this GL code is linked with this bank. So in case we are importing the trial balance, then under this GL code, whatever be the closing balance of the cutoff date, client has to provide that figure. We will import via trial balance, and it will be appearing in the trial balance or balance sheet record. This is the way we can do, and I think this has clarified the client query.